What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. Everybody expected Meek Mill to release his third album titled Wins and Losses sometime in 2017. However, I don't think anybody was expecting it to come out this month. Fresh off his Meek and Music 2 EP, Meek Mill decided to announce his album Wins and Losses will be out on July 21st. Despite not having a huge rollout so far, he's released 2 singles. And to be honest, I really wasn't thinking them as like album singles. I figured they were just more records to kind of, keep a momentum going while he works on this album and then comes up with like the big hit single. Because Meek is really good at coming up with something that would impact radio. But so far he hasn't had that. Out of the 2 singles, you have one that is more catered towards like the radio, which is Whatever You Need featuring Chris Brown and Ty Dolla $ign. On the opposite end, you got this record called Glow Up. And I listened to them again today. I can say that I'm not really too big on them. Like, they don't get me hyped up for this album. I think they're just singles that may sound better within the context of the album, but who knows? And it's also a safe bet to assume that Young Black America featuring The Dream will be on the album as well. For 2 reasons. One, because they shot a video, and it just makes sense. Why would you pour that money into a video if it's not going to make your album? And 2, we'll get to that in just a few moments. So what does the album title mean? Well, it's simple. Meek Mill is going to talk about his wins and losses in his career and life. In the press release for the album, there's a quote from Meek that reads, "It's all about what molded me into being Meek Mill today, and the trials and tribulations of my life that made me bigger and better." So the concept sounds promising. It does. But I wonder how he'll go about it. In the way that I'm thinking, how do you address your losses in a way that's more critical than just making them like a minor part? Like the wins and losses, the title, it's balanced. So I look at it like you got to have a nice balance of your wins and your losses. And I don't know if Meek Mill is capable of being that critical of himself. If pulled off right, Wins and Losses could be a contender for Album of the Year. With his announcement, Meek Mill gave us the album cover. It's a collage of a bunch of different photos of people who have impacted Meek's life for better or for worse. So the cover is not really like flashy, but it works for the concept. Notably missing on the cover are pictures of Drake and Nicki Minaj, who have without a doubt had an impact on his career, whether you look at it as a win or a loss. It makes me wonder if they'll be referenced on the album. I'm sure they will be. It's almost like a sure bet to say that Meek will address both Drake and Nicki in some way, shape, or fashion on this album. I look at it like, when I was thinking about it, thinking like, why wouldn't he have them on the cover when the title fits into what they've had a part of his life? I thought to myself, I said, well, I get why he might not want to do it. You don't want to put shine to those type of people. There's nobody on there like present that jumps out on the cover that you can say have wronged Meek or have gave him a loss. I think more along the lines of the losses part is like the people that he's lost and the opportunities that he's lost. Not necessarily the people that have helped or have hurt him in that regard. It also might be a legal thing. Like you look at it like you can get sued for having someone on your album cover if they don't approve it. And then like the photographer of a photo between like those 2 people could sue if it doesn't get cleared. So I get there might be a legal aspect to it. We're not just getting this album from Meek Mill, we're also getting a short film. In the press release, it says that this short film will be a powerful visual that brings Meek's strikingly emotional verses from the album to life with a moving story exposing events often experienced by young Black Americans. It also says that the short film is a follow-up to his Young Black America video, and like I said, part 2. That's why I feel like Young Black America will definitely make the album. I think this quote about the film has me most excited for the album because it says like the strikingly emotional verses from the album. Meek is always at his best when he's talking about his passion and pain. And for him to have those verses on the album, hopefully more so than like the stunting and flashy and I got my Rolex and all this, you know, my 100 cars. Like more than that, I hope the album is geared towards like that passion and pain and just having a lot more emotion to it. So Meek Mill's third album, Wins and Losses, is coming out on July 21st. Talk to me in the comment section. What are you feeling about this album? What do you think about all the information I talked about? Let me know. And then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter at SermonsDomain. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.